So the 3 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe regularly one of those is always a solo. I can't tell.
So the solo episodes.
And
Right.
what are the other two? Is it two different interviews and a solo, or how does the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday episodes end up being? Like, for the person listening, what are they experiencing?
Sure. Great question. So the solo episodes were almost an accident originally. So the podcast editing company that I work with offers certain packages per month. And when I went from 2 episodes a week up, the next package they offer was 12 episodes a month. Well, if you say Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, not every month has 12 Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays in them. So I was winding up having them do additional episodes. I was getting additional charges, which isn't that big of a deal. But I thought, well, okay, this is an opportunity for me to do a solo episode. I'm recording it. I don't mind editing it because I'm going to listen to myself and understand my message. So the solo episodes started as a way to get my edited episode count down to 12 episodes a month. That turned into a realization that through my interview episodes, I don't know how much I really express myself, my investment experience, what I'm learning, what I'm doing, everything that I'm up to, rather than just showcasing the guest. And it makes sense because it's uncomfortable to put yourself out no matter what. But for me, it's a little more uncomfortable for me to think of a lesson. For example, 4 things that podcasting has done for my business. Now, I'll grant you that particular episode is not directly aimed at my avatar, but that was something, it came out on Labor Day this year, that I didn't want to burn a guest episode on Labor Day because Labor Day is probably not going to get all that many listeners anyway. Still going to put an episode out, of course. And I was looking for other solo episode concepts to think about. And I had other ideas, and I still do because I've got many of those episodes coming up. But this was just something that I felt I had to put out there. I had to talk about what podcasting has done for me because it's done just about everything for me in my real estate business. 2/3 of my investors, and I did the math on this, 2/3 of my investors found me through my podcast. Prior to that, my investors all came as friends, family, and people that I met at in-person networking events, whether it was an in-person networking event that I ran. Now, I'm not a madman, and I didn't do what was yours? Every weekday in Denver years ago? I came to that.
Yeah, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we were doing, I guess, 12 plus meetups a month.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
I ran pre-COVID. I ran an in-person meetup here, and I got, some investment out of that. But podcasting broadened my reach so much that, again, now 2/3 of my investors found me through listening to my podcast. But not only that, as it stands today, 100% of my deal flow comes through a connection that I made through my podcast. And it was a little bit, this guy introduced me to this guy, and we do those sorts of things. But at the end of the day, if I hadn't had an extra 30-minute conversation with a guest one day, the deals that I'm doing right now, I wouldn't be doing, right? So, and there's so much more. There's learning about the market, keeping a pulse on the market, because, you and I talked a little bit before about the state of the market today, but unless you're, in my opinion, engaged in what's going on actively, privately networking with people, talking to brokers, talking with other investors in the market, you're not getting a true picture of what's happening because you're limited to what you can see in news article headlines. And by the time it hits a news article, a blog online, it's way old news. And if you're thinking that there's, say, distress in the market, well, people don't go out there on a podcast and talk about how they have a deal that's falling apart, right? But you can learn that stuff through the grapevine. And the podcast has been the most incredible grapevine for me, just as far as keeping a pulse on the market, and of course, learning about other real estate investing strategies and building connections. So to me, I wanted to put that episode out there because, as you might be able to tell, I'm very both passionate and grateful for what I've gotten back out of having run the show. So that's why I did that particular episode.
Yeah.
Even if my avatar might not directly learn a lesson from that. Now, the truth is, if my avatar listens to that show and they hear, okay, he's got stuff going on, maybe I'll schedule a call with him. You could see some connection there, but it was a message that I was passionate about. I wanted to talk about. I wanted to put it out there. So I did.